Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have the actor Harry Cook. Harry is from California in the USA. So let's see what Harry has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Harry, how
Hi,
are you?
how are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. No, can you hear me okay? I've only something's up
Yeah.
with my
Yes.
technology. I can only
Yeah,
hear out of one ear right now. So um
I can hear you
how you
properly. Yes.
doing?
Hear me as well?
Yeah, crystal clear. Just a bit just in one ear, but I should it should be okay with time, hopefully.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's
Okay.
turning it up a bit and you're coming through.
Working out.
There we go.
So tell me, how are you today? How's your day going so far?
So far so good. I'm really good. Yeah, it's been I'm sure you're aware the last few months have been a bit well, the last almost 8 months have been insane, I think. Just a crazy time for the world. But I'm feeling with each day slightly stronger, a little bit
Uh,
stronger, a little bit happier. How
I
about you?
like
How
your
you doing?
very well. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
great day in London today. It's been
Yeah.
sunny, a bit cold though, but it's still sunny.
Sunny. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So where are you based, Harry?
I'm Northern California. Me and my boyfriend, we moved up. We used to live in LA, and we live like actually like probably 3 minute walk away from each other. And we fell madly in love last year, and then decided to move up the coast because his family are up here. So we always wanted to move closer to family and stuff. And I'm from originally from England, but my family are living in Australia now. So I don't have any family out here, so I'm kind of this lone wolf out on my own. So yeah, I'm super grateful that we've got this little community up here with family and stuff. So
Harry, what a pleasure to have you on the show. I was checking a little bit about your career so far, and what an amazing career that you've been doing. You know, you're doing a lot for the
thank
world and
you.
for the LGBTQ plus community as well. It's amazing.
Oh,
I was watching your video that when you came out when you were 22. It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
wow, what an inspiring, video, and for you to be able to, to share a personal event, and I'm sure
Oh,
encouraging people around the world to do the same as well.
that's really sweet of you. Thank you. It's funny at the time I thought, oh yeah, I'm like really doing a big thing, and at the time it was like I felt pretty confident, and then the sort of backlash at first, not even backlash, but just the response was so huge. Just it wasn't
Uh-huh.
even. It was both positive and negative. Like I got a lot of love and a lot of hate, and at the same time I was like, wow, this is polarizing apparently just to announce something about yourself. Like you wouldn't say that if you're like, hey, I've got blonde hair, but it's sometimes brown. Like it was such a strange thing to have the world kind of, or just
Absolutely.
my little community find it so strange.
Absolutely.
So
So, Harry, tell me, when I was, of course, reading a little bit about you, I could see that you're born in London, in Croydon. My God, I'm not far
yeah,
from you. I'm not far
you're not
from. Yeah,
really.
I'm and
Whereabouts?
Stratton near Brixton, so not
Oh
far
my
from
God.
Croydon.
That's so funny. Yeah, I tell you, it's such a small world. What do they say, 6 degrees of separation or something? That everyone's got, 6 degrees between each other. And I grew up South London, so Croydon, born in Mayday Hospital.
Okay.
Um, born in Mayday Hospital. I was June 12th, 1991, and then lived South London. But I have family in Cambridge, in sort of Essex area. I got all over the place. So
So tell me why the change from London to Australia.
my parents, actually, my mom and dad met in Australia when I was not around. Um, they met each other when they were backpacking, sort of traveling the world, and fell in love, and then decided to move back to England to start a family and settle down. But always kind of had this idea that they wanted to head back to Australia because it was sunnier and a little bit a nicer life for them. They hoped. So yeah, they had me, and then they had me and my brother, and then we all moved together when I was 10. I was 10. Yeah.
Right. And but your parents, they are English or they are Australian?
English. Yeah,
They
we're
are
all
English.
a English family. Yeah, a
I
bunch of
see.
Brits.
And all your parents, they are still in Australia.
Yeah, which is funny because my mom, dad, and brother, they're all over there, and So interesting because I love Australia. I think it's a beautiful country and like it's naturally gorgeous and wonderful and so many beautiful aspects of it. I don't know. I think I had a feeling that I needed to venture further, more that I wanted to see.
So before we start the game, so tell me about your career as an actor. So tell me how everything started.
Yeah, I mean, I was having this conversation with Trey, my boyfriend, yesterday about how I've always loved acting, and I never really understood why I loved it. I was sort of like, that looks fun. I went to see, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Oliver, it's a musical, but it's also it's based on Oliver Twist. And I went to see that when I was 4 years old. My grandma on my dad's side introduced me to the movie, and I fell madly in love with all the characters and was like, this is a really cool movie. There's a lot of characters that I really like in this. So my mom's parents were like, well, if you love it so much, we'll take you to see the show. They saved that we come from not much at all. So they saved a while to take me to up to the West End to see Oliver on stage, like in live performance of it, and I was blown away watching this show. 'Cause, like being a kid as well, I mean the whole cast is full of children, really. Like it's just a cast full of youngsters. So I remember saying at interval to my grandma and grandpa, I was like, how? What is that? What do they get to do that? And they're like, well, they're actors, and then they go to school. I was like, so they get paid for that? But they get paid to go sing and dance and just have fun. That's so cool. So that I think is where I sort of fell madly in love with the idea of it.
Amazing. Okay, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career and also about your life overall, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Harry, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
I am. I am.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best full of random fun questions. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay. Love it.
Amazing.
Good.
Let's do it. Yes, you always
reminds me of.
you always can join.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of that scene in Hook. You know when they're all dancing and they just start imagining like flicking paint at each other, and no, it's not even paint. It's like food, but it looks like paint. They're all just like imagining what it would be like. I love that movie. Hook.
During the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yeah. Awesome. Sounds good.
First question for you is that a dream you always had?
Yeah, to be an actor? Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
You always had this dream?
Yeah. Always. Yeah,
Tell me,
I don't remember not thinking about it.
Tell me, when was the very first time when you were acting, the first opportunity at school or as a child? Do you remember the very first time that you acted?
I think I played a wiggly worm. I think was my first role. I played a worm in my it was like a nursery. We used to go to this it was like a daycare for kids, really. And they put on like a show once a year for the parents, and I got to play a worm. And then I think at school later I got to play a mouse in the Nutcracker or something. So I I've kind of always had the strange parts.
It's good. Next question. Hey, Harry, next question is, what makes you really angry?
Injustice. Any kind. Just any kind of injustice just hurts my soul a lot. And it can be down to just as silly as like someone not taking the time to ask if someone's all right. Like that just drives me crazy. I'm like, be nice to each other. Like be kinder. This seems like a waste of energy to not, it's a cool place to start with, I think.
Totally. Do you think nowadays with social media, do you think people, they are more kind, or the opposite? Do you think people, they put out there a lot of hateful things?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think I've been very guilty of that myself, because it's such a confusing thing to play with, like you're getting so much information, such a lot of information all the time, just constantly being bombarded by information. It's really hard for the human mind to be able to go, That's fact. I think that's fact, and that's not, well, is that right, or is that right, or is that right? Like, it's very, very confusing to try and find an opinion, and a team to join. When you've got so much information coming at you and so many different perspectives. So I think the best thing for me is coming to a place of going, I don't know what it is that you're coming, like, I don't understand maybe where you're coming from, but I'm willing to learn, and I don't want to fight you on it. I just want to, like, let's just figure it out. Let's just figure out, and, like, let's figure out how we can be happy and work together on it. Like, there's not a, yeah, not a wall up anymore for me, which was very much there. I think I was very on the opposite of that for a while. So,
I see.
um,
All right. Next.
yeah.
Good.
This is a good, I like this magic box a lot. I'm a big fan of magic. So.
Right. Before the next question, Harry, you've been part of a big movie called Accidents Happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell me a little bit about, how did the opportunity came along, and what was the highlight for you when you're doing the movie, when you're shooting the movie? Tell me a memory that you're never gonna forget.
Ooh, that was a tricky one. It was a really tricky one because I had such a blast that whole time. It was a really tough time in my life at that point. Me and my actual real family were going through quite a struggle. Just a struggle. We, like, as every single family on the planet goes through. We're all doing the best we can. But I myself was not having a great time in life. I was just trying to figure myself out, figure out what was going on, and it was really scary to be that age. I think I was 16, going on 17, when I booked that job. And I remember at the time just being so excited because for I think we only shot for like 2 months. It wasn't even that. It was really, really short shoot, very, very low budget, had practically no money. And we got paid next to nothing. All of us got paid next to nothing. And I just remember being so excited, and I went to set every single day, regardless of whether I was needed or not, because I was just so excited to be around these people and these artists and this community of people who wanted to just tell a good story and try and get the message out. And I think that's what I was missing at home a lot. I felt a bit home alone a lot of the time, and I just sort of and that wasn't the case. It wasn't an issue. My parents never meant to do that, and my family never meant that. It was just the hands kind of the cards we kind of were drawn, and I think it was such a great escape for me, a great, great, great escape for me to get out of any kind of pain or anxiety and just go and just play pretend for a little while. That was really cool.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question is, what will be the title of your memoir?
A memoir. Oh, I mean, I had a memoir that came out a little while ago, but it needs an update because it is not finished at all, and I don't really like how it ended. And I was far too young to write a memoir when I did, because I have not lived, I have not lived, nor am I ready to uh to really, I think, write about it. But I think my title would be "Send Me on My Way." Send me on
Why?
my way.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
Because I'm just always interested in being in leveling up and just trying to be a better person. And I love that song, but it's by Rusted Root. I don't know if you've ever heard, if you probably heard it in a lot of movies. It's like the final song in Matilda. It's like it's one of the it's an Ice Age as well. It's used in that movie. It's just a really feel good song, and the lyrics. I mean, a lot of the time I've heard it over the years and been like, oh, this is such a peaceful song, and I've never really understood the lyrics because it's quite a it sounds kind of gibberishy. But then I was, after a while, started hearing the lyrics and reading them, and I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. It's about being sent on your way and just learning as you go and growing and doing the best you can, really. And I just think it's such a beautiful metaphor for where we're all at, really, I think.
Harry, when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being you? What do you like the most about being Harry?
Oh, it's a really good question, because that's been hard to answer for a really long time. Haven't really been able to find that answer for a while. And for me, I just think I am so much kinder to myself and others than I've ever been. I think I just feel like I'm not Not as well. I mean, I daily practice, like just trying my best every day. I think that's the best thing I can do. I'm like, oh, I'm nowhere near as great or as wonderful as I thought I was, and I'm nowhere near as awful and as horrendous as I thought I was. I'm just doing the absolute best I can, and I've always been doing the best I can, And I think we've always, all of us have all been doing the best we can with what we've been given, and I think that's where the judgment's gone for me. Like I look at, and you would never have heard me say this a while ago, but I do look at people like Trump and Biden and the leaders of our culture around the world, the Western culture around the world, people like, the Tory government, Boris Johnson, and the Australian government, Scott Morrison, these people that I have had such an issue with and such a clash of ideals, and looking at them and going, what is wrong with you? Why do you want to cause so much pain? Why do you need to cause so much pain to people to feel better about yourself? And taking a step back from it, it does sound very hippy dippy, but I mean it. It's I have no room for that anymore, because it does nothing for me to hold that level of like anger and pain at somebody else, because it's just coming back to me tenfold. Like there was a monk once told me, or didn't tell me, I read it. If you hold on to a hot rock, and or like if you trying to be upset with an enemy, you wouldn't drink the poison, or something along those lines. It's one of those quotes where you're drinking the poison. If you want to hurt somebody else, you're doing it to yourself. Like what I am doing to myself, I'm doing to everybody else. So it's that kind of level of understanding, I think, that like I'm not getting anywhere holding these rigid beliefs of thinking I know it all. I have no idea. What the hell are we? We're a bunch of meat-coated skeletons on a floating rock in space. I have no right to judge anything or anyone. I'm just here for the ride. So.
And how do you find, your a way to protect yourself, through that, things happening out there? How did you find that? Do you find a way for you to get yourself in a place where you can protect?
Protector, yeah, that's it reminds me of Beyonce's song. She's got a song on a new album called Protector, and I do think it's like you find it wherever you can, but I've searched for like love my whole life. I know that for sure. I've been looking for where is love my entire life, and I've never ever really understood it until I met my partner Trey. Last year we met each other, and I fell madly in love, and since then I'm like, I just want to protect him, and I want him to protect me, and it's just this like, we'll just get through anything, but we got each other, and that just feels so different to anything I've ever had before. I just feel so much at peace. I'm not scared of the end of the world anymore. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything. It's just I'm more just leading with love, and it's such a freeing experience, so less frightening. Like there's nothing frightening when you just sit in that space, because I'm like, well, I have love. I have love everywhere, not just from Trey. I have love in nature. I saw a squirrel yesterday and nearly cried because they're so cute. It's a different mindset, and it's very, very nice. Very nice.
What's the biggest difference between you and your boyfriend, and the biggest similarity?
Ooh, good one. Biggest similarity is just love, for sure. For sure. Just so much love there. And difference, I would say physical body, maybe. That's about it, really. I'd say everything else is very, very much in sync soul-wise. We're just two humans in two different spacesuits. That's what it feels like.
Sweet, very sweet. Next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the nicest thing a family member has ever done for you?
Oh, let me heal. Let me heal. I think these are, by the way, these are such beautiful questions, and I've never had an interview that has been, or not even an interview, a chat. I hate that word. It makes in a hierarchy. It's not an interview. We're chatting. I've never had a chat with anyone who's asked such interesting questions. So yeah, that is it. I think for me, it's the healing side of it, and I'm interested in hearing all of this from you as well. And I know it's not my show, but I'm also just like, I want to know about you, or you're like what these all answered are for you. So, but I've got one question for you, which I know I'll ask you. Yeah.
And which person in your family you feel more close to?
Am I close to my mom for sure, and always my mom. Like in the just always the female in my life has always been, it's been my mom, my grandma, like all of the women in my life, for sure. Just women in my life have been the guides for me. any woman, and like from my real mom to my movie mom Gina Davis to my like, and then I started thinking of like all the different parts we all play, and like I would then have, she's Thelma and Louise, I could have Louise as my auntie, she's got another, you know what I mean? It's just you feel the love from everywhere because it's there, and there's a lot of people out there who love each other. So that's the feeling.
Let's say now your mom is watching this interview right now, and you have opportunity and a moment to tell her something or to send her a message. What would you say?
Oh, that's gonna make me cry. Never have cried on an interview before, ever. So that's something. Oh, that I love her so incredibly much. Always have and always will love my mom. And that's it, really. I think just I love
Oh,
my mom so much.
sweet, sweet. I think
Sorry.
no, beautiful. I think it's genuine tears. I think that the connection with our mom, there's something about it
Something
that
else.
yeah, it's visible because it's you can grow, you can move another country, you can go somewhere else, you're
Shit.
joining, but our mom is the safest place to be. I've got goosebumps now. It's
So do I. That's
it's
why I feel like I could actually start bawling, because that's it. That's the exact thing that I've been trying to articulate. And it's that. It's like the mum is everything. And it's like Mother Earth. Like, what are we doing to her? You know, like that's like when you really break it down, that's why there's so much pain in the world. We're treating Mother Earth pretty badly. And whoo.
very sweet. I can see your mom smile right now, seeing you here.
Yes, I know. I know she is. I'm certain of it.
Next question. Before the next question, Harry, talking about your famous video on YouTube when you came out at the
Yeah.
age of 22. Tell me that day when you wake up, and tell me why you decided to do that.
Yeah, I think I was just really tired by that point, and I was really young. I don't even remember how old I was. Maybe 21 when I came out, 22 something, really young. And I was with somebody at the time who I'd been with, who sort of saved my life after. Well, I'd say saved my life. Just brought me back to the light in a way. It just made me realize what was important in life, and at that point I had decided that like I was a bit tired of hiding this other part of my life away, and that's what you kind of have to do in Hollywood or in the entertainment industry to be successful. Gay actors are very much encouraged to keep their private life, their personal life private, whereas the straight sort of actors out there are lucky and very privileged in the fact that they don't sort of have to do that. They can take their partner to an event or to a screening of their work. You know, they get to go and watch their movies and say, "Hey, this is me. I get to do that." And it's not there's no like strange looks, or it doesn't make the paper, it doesn't make the news that it's, and I think that is what's such a beautiful thing is how we are evolving towards that, where it is no longer this giant what, like it should be just part of the collective consciousness, that's just how people are. And I think that was the reason. It was just to be free, and I felt great after it came out. It felt really good. one less chip off off the old block. One less chip off the old block.
All right. Next question is, what is one movie you could watch over and over again?
A movie I could watch over and over again. I could watch The Sound of Music now. It used to be Oliver. Very much used to be that. But I realized that that's quite a sad ending, really. When I look back at it, it's actually not the ending I would have liked for all of those characters, where they all just sort of split up and go their own ways. That wasn't really the ending I was looking for in that movie, and I thought that was the only movie that was made. So I think the next movie would definitely be Sound of Music, because they come together as a family and they survive as a family, which I think is beautiful. And that, and The Page Master. Did you guys ever watch that? The Page Master. It was like a Macaulay Culkin 90s movie. Great movie.
Okay, amazing. Ready for another one?
Yes.
Let's do the next question, Harry. Next question for you is, if you won the lottery, what would be your first big splurge?
Oh, just pay off my tax that I'm currently paying off. I pay that off. I would don't even know anymore. I used to think it would be buy a big house up on a hill and watch the ocean. Like I don't really see the joy in that anymore. I really don't. I think I would use the money to tell more stories, to visit my family and be closer with my family, and help however I can in my universe, which is what we all control in our little universe that we have. I would do whatever I could to help the people in my world, which is all we all have. But I would try my best to try and get that on track, and then go from there and try and do the remain of the 8 billion people on the planet.
Do you see yourself living in the US, Harry, or do you plan to one day maybe live in London again, or maybe Australia? What's your plans?
I don't think I think for now at least, I'm not really sure where I want to I've always been a bit of a gypsy, to be honest, and a bohemian, as you say. I don't want to ever use the wrong words, and I think language has been really kind of bastardized a lot. It's hard to say the wrong thing sometimes, and I get scared. I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean that. So for me, I think, like, when I said gypsy, I was like, oh, I really hope that doesn't come with any negative connotations, because I feel like one. I feel like a bohemian who's just traveling and just going where the wind takes me. And I think that's kind of the vibe that I'm now sitting with. I love where I live right now. I love the home I've got, and the sort of thing that I'm building with my loved ones right now. And I think that's just sort of where I'm going to keep sitting. I like just wherever the wind takes me, but mostly just keep on this path. It's yeah.
Easy. Good.
Yeah.
Next question. Next question for you is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Oh, that I don't know everything. That makes me scared. Sometimes I definitely feel like I want to know everything, or at least have answers. I struggle with long TV shows, or TV, because I'm like, God, get to the point. What is happen? Like, what is the answer? What is the final scene? What is going to happen at the end? And these seasons now are like 15 long, and then they've got 7 off-cast reboots, and I'm just like, can we just figure out what the point is of this, please? So, because I don't need to watch this amount of television to get to the point now. So I think I've already forgotten the question, but I think that was kind of where I was headed.
What makes you more uncomfortable about yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely not knowing anything at all, not having a clue about anything. And also, it used to be my body for a really long time. I used to hate the body I lived in. Couldn't stand the way I looked, the physical. I just never felt like I was exactly what Hollywood would like. And I think everyone feels like that. Not just, and I'm just not just saying actors or singers or dancers or performers or creatives. I think the whole society that we live in now is influenced by what we see on screens and on television and on film. So we are kind of like hypnotized into thinking and that our bodies are because the people on screen all look gorgeous, all gorgeous. They're all so stunning. And like the ones who aren't as gorgeous, they say it's gorgeous, but it's just what we've told everyone is gorgeous. But the ones who don't fit that mold are then called other things, like character actors, or best supporting. Like, it's never it's just very interesting to me, the language we use around what's okay and what's not. And it's very interesting. That's
Amazing. Good. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Really? Wow, this has flown by. That's what 3.
Actually, 3 is my lucky number. That's why I always get this 3. It's always
That's
my
funny. Mine used to be 4 for a while, 4 or 8. Now it's like 3. I like 3 a lot. Really like 3.
It's interesting. Before, I'm originally from Brazil, and when I left Brazil, before I left Brazil, I went to astrologer, and he told me, William, your lucky number is 3. And fun enough, actually, I knew already somehow. I always had connection with 3. And when I look back, like all like some special dates in my life. Always been like I moved to Europe on the 13th of March. I moved to London on the 13th of March as well, on and off.
Right.
So many situations in my life that it happened with 33, 13th or 3. There's
Yeah.
always a connection there. What's your star sign in astrology?
Gemini, actually, which
Hmm,
is funny because I've always heard that that's also been bastardized a lot. And people are like, oh, you're gonna split personality, something's wrong with you. And I was like, what if that's not what it means? Because I really realized the other day, one of my eyes, I can't even, but has a like a little fleck. And everyone's who ever looked into my eyes has been like, you got a bit of like stardust in there, or you got a bit of sand in your eye. I'm like, no, it's just a fleck. It's like a gem
interesting.
in my eye, a gem in my eye, a Gemini, a gem in the eye. Like that's how I'm thinking of it. Maybe I've just got a gem in my eye. Maybe a few other Geminis have got that too. I think we just make stories up for whatever suits us best. And I like that.
Before the next question, tell me a little bit about your career as a writer.
Yeah, so I've written a few books. I wrote a memoir which needs an update, so I'll just ignore that. I don't need to. Then wrote a young adult novel called Finn and Ryan Fireflies, which is about two young gay guys who fall in love when they're 16, going on 17. And then this one, this I wrote a couple of years ago. It's called Felix Silver Teaspoons and Witches, and it's just a story about adventure and family and like trusting your instincts and trusting your gut and you know, figuring yourself out. I think figuring myself out. And I wrote this book. I'm rereading it because I've actually only read the final draft, and I was such in a bad place when I was writing it. I was like, I'd like to read it cover to cover without any edit notes or like draft notes, and just enjoy it as a story and just see how I enjoy it. So it's a bit of fun doing that as a creative person to be like, what on earth was I thinking when I wrote? What was I doing then? Yeah, really cool.
Amazing. Next question is describe yourself in 3 words.
3 words: kind, passionate, and supernatural.
And a negative word, if you could define yourself, a negative one, which one that would be?
Fearful.
Hmm.
Fearful. Yeah. Because I don't know whether even that's a negative word, but I think it has negative connotations to it. So I would maybe say that, but I don't actually fear fear. What is it? The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. That is what I would agree with. I don't fear it. I'm just excited to figure out what I can do with it.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, Harry, tell me when you think about London, Croydon, your childhood memory, what's the best memory that comes to your mind when you think about London? And in your best British accent, if you still got some, do you still have it? Can you take it
Yeah,
up? Okay,
I
so
can.
you can answer the question with your best British accent.
Yeah, so I think probably my best memory of being in England was my mum's mum. She used to have a attic which was at the top of top of the stairs, and it was an attic, and the trap door. It was like a trap door. Ladder would come down, and she would take me and my cousins and my mum all up into the attic. Which, for most people, why would you ever want to go into an attic to have tea? But she would take a whole tray of tea and custard creams and like a whole plethora of things, and we would just sit up there and have a laugh, and it would be wonderful. We'd have such a good time, and it was just magical. I had such a wicked time with all of them, and I think that is golden.
Oh my God,
Is that
amazing.
okay? I didn't do bad, huh?
It was my God, I'm talking to you. I feel like, my goodness, how you
It's
switch.
It's so funny though, because I think it comes. My family have always sort of been like, your accent changes a lot when you're depending on who you're with, and I don't really think I realize it half the time until I snap into it and go, oh, I can actually do that accent if I need to. If I need to, a lot of queer people do that. I think we do this masking thing where we're like, well, we're safe here, so I can let my guard down a bit, but we can always put it on if we need to. So.
Amazing. Right, next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that be and why?
Oh, I actually used to would have said I would have maybe back in the day would have been like, oh, 21 because I want to live forever. I don't want to live forever. I'll be very clear about that. I love that I have been able to manifest into this cosmic body that I have. Love it. Absolute joy that I'm figuring this out as I go. But I do want to leave. I'd like to leave. Very much want to leave one day. Not anytime soon. Very happy with the journey I'm on right now. But I do not want to keep, I don't want to do this forever. Absolutely not. There's so much more to the universe I want to explore. So much more out there that I want to see and do and just feel. And I think it comes from a place of just absolute peace. And yeah, just gonna keep on doing this until I can't do it anymore. It's fun. It's
Aging
fun.
for you is something that bothers you, or is just a matter of life?
Used to be really scared of it, terrified of it actually, really scared. I remember a vivid memory of being in Turkey actually when I was a kid with my mom, dad, younger brother, and my dad's parents. Well, my dad's mom, who's my grandma, and his stepdad, who I loved. It was just as much. It was wonderful. And I spent the whole trip crying, sobbing because I couldn't fathom that one day my grandma, who was the eldest, and and my grandpa, they were the people. I knew that I would lose them first. That scared me beyond belief. I couldn't fathom that. I was like, what do you mean you're not gonna, that doesn't make any sense to me. What do you mean you're not gonna be here? Like that doesn't make any sense. So I had a complete panic attack about that. But now I realize that because I actually I lost my grandpa a little while ago, my grandma shortly after. It sort of happened rather not yeah and I realized that they are still here, absolutely. Like in fact, I think that's why I'm as comfortable and as at peace as I am right now, is because they're up there in the stars just watching down, making sure that I'm okay, and I am
Oh,
really less stressed about it. So yeah.
oh, sweet. Last question, ready?
Yes.
Let's
Yes,
do
yes.
it. Next question. But before the last question, tell me, through your career, tell me a moment or a situation or event that you're never gonna forget, always gonna have a special place in your heart.
Yeah, I think it was yeah, it sounds a bit wacky and hippy dippy, but it was when the eclipse happened last week. Was it last week? I don't even know. Time doesn't make a lot of sense. But there was the big eclipse, and it was the
Mm-hmm.
one in however long, hundreds of years that we had. And I didn't even know what was going on because I've been in my own little head and pain and fear and everything about what's been going on in the world. Had no idea that it was actually happening or what was going on. And it was whatever day it was, I was in this room actually, and on the floor, sobbing, like grief, absolutely bowled over with grief, like the most agonizing pain, sobbing I've ever experienced. And it was really quite horrible. I was one of those points where I was like, is this okay? Am I okay? Like, what's happening? Why is this so painful? Um, and then I sort of stopped sniffling, was still in a mess, but I felt so much relief after this moment for some reason, like such an enormous amount of relief. And and then my boyfriend Trey texted me and said, "How you doing? Are you okay? Did you see the eclipse?" And I was like, "What? No, I did not see the. No, I've not. Thanks for checking in, but no, I've not been paying attention. When did that happen?" He said, "Oh, just now." I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. So maybe something with the moon hit me in that point in time." I don't know. Again, I have no idea. I have no answers to any questions. I'm just sort of guessworking it at the moment. But I will never leave me, because it was this moment where I was like, I am worth love. I'm. It was a moment where I was actually listening to a song. I could cry again, but I'm not, because it's a beautiful thing. I was listening to "Where Is Love" from Lionel Bart's Oliver, and it's a song. It's a very short song, but he sings about. He's just asking the universe, "Where is love? Like, where is it? Where can I find it?" And I found it, and it is in here, and it's because of the people around me, and it's that force of nature that I'm holding on so fucking tightly to, because I believe in it with all my heart. That's my God. Love is God to me. God is love. That is it for me.
Amazing. All right. Last
Oh,
question is, define yourself in a season of the year and why.
a season of the year, winter.
Hmm.
Because after winter, you get spring, and then you get summer, and then you have autumn again. But winter is the place where everything dies, and then you come back to life much happier and much more connected to the earth because you understand what's going on and you really do care, and you try your best. And I think that's maybe what humanity has missed a lot of, maybe, is getting caught up in the wrong things instead of just following the seasons and going with it. I think that's probably more it. But I want to ask you some. I've got one question for you, but I don't know whether this is my. I've
Get
still got
there.
more. I think.
Almost
Was
there.
that?
Almost.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're gonna do now the word association game, and after that you
Yeah.
can ask a question. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No. Sounds great.
Quick thinking. One word for money.
Ew.
One Fear. One
Ew.
word.
Necessary.
Family.
Unconditional.
Life.
Perfect.
One word for love.
God.
Religion.
Confusion.
Sex.
Connection.
One word for politics.
Distraction.
Friendship.
Everything.
Desire.
Everywhere.
Regret.
All at once.
Success.
um, uh, Kindness. I think.
Wish.
Peace.
Yeah, good one. One word for happiness.
Oh. Tray.
Oh, one word for London.
Home.
One word for Australia.
Home.
You said you're based in California right now, yeah, in the
Yeah.
US. So
Home.
one word for California.
Yeah, home for sure.
And the last one now, one word for acting.
Home.
Good, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's play now Harry and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. But before you ask me the question, Harry, in your opinion, what's the biggest misconception that people has from Hollywood business, like Hollywood entertainment, and what's something that gets right?
The very big misconception is that we're all living in these oceanfront mansions, and living this spectacularly glorious, adored life like kings or something. That's a big misconception, that we're all on this level that we see projected everywhere and that is in the media. And the truth about Hollywood, we all love unconditionally.
Wow, good one. You can ask me a question now.
I am so excited for this because you're incredible and I've had such a blast answering all these questions. So my question to you is, like, what do you consider to be human? Like, what do you think being human is about? Being here.
Wow, what a great question. What a great question. You know what? I'm gonna answer this question in two parts. I think the first part is when you realize that you are here, to wake up every day knowing that you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna love, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna feel the worst, you're gonna feel the best, you're gonna live. I see life as a gift. When we realize that we are living, we are very privileged to be here talking and connecting with people, sharing experiences. I think when we realize that, that's the highlight of of finding yourself in this life. That's the meaning of life for me. And I think being a human being, it's about kindness, as you said. You mentioned a few times being kind, and something so simple to do. It doesn't take a lot from us to be kind. And at the end of the day, being kind, when you expose kindness, trust me, it comes back to you in a bigger proportion, because
In
it's
abundance.
yes, absolutely, because it's about it's like sharing energy. It's
Yeah,
like giving and taking, and it doesn't cost anything. So for me, being a human being, being living life is about being you in
yeah,
the best that you can, knowing that life is a roller coaster that's gonna be up and down, and that's the beauty of life as well. Because if it would be flat, just beautiful skies, flowers, it would be
right. It'd
wouldn't
be
learn
so
anything.
boring.
So boring.
Exactly.
So I think that's for me the meaning of being here in this world. It's about you explore life and being kind and
That's it.
sharing the best that you can.
To a T. Could not have said it better myself. That's exactly what life is to me as well. Like that is it. That is it. You nail on the head. And that's just so lovely to hear back. Like you said, like the giving of energy and the receiving it. That is what life is. I love that. Love it.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I had the best time. Absolutely incredible. I got a poem. Did you still want me to read? I know you said a quote,
Yes,
but I got a poem instead. Would that be
absolutely.
okay?
Before you read your poem, I would like to say thanks so much, Harry, for you take the time.
Are you kidding?
When I sent the message, I couldn't believe when you replied back. I was like, oh my God, he accepted the invitation. So
Oh my God.
thank you so much
No,
to be so so open about your
of
life, about
course.
your up and downs. And I think somehow you are helping people out there. I think it's great to see someone someone
Thank
like
you.
you sharing your vulnerable parts and your
Thank you.
happy moment as well. I think people appreciate that. So thanks so much for taking
No, I
part of it.
think
It was a
I,
pleasure.
I'm
Thank
so grateful. And likewise, I think what you're doing here is magic. I really do. And I think it is just such a wonderful thing. And I also believe in cosmic connections. I don't believe anything's a mistake. So if you asked me tomorrow, do you want to be back on the show? I would. Like that's how I think it works. I do
thank you
believe
so
in
much.
that. So yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you can share your
Okay.
poem now.
Cool. So this is from 365 Poems for Life by Ali Ezeri. And this one is for the 21st of April, which is the 20th here. We're talking about numbers. It's the 20th here in California, but it would be the 21st in Australia today. So, and then 2
Oh.
plus 1 is 3. So I like that the odds of that.
Three? You
21st.
see the three? You see the three coming back?
Yeah, I like it a lot. So this one is called Nature and Man from Queen Mab, and it's by Percy Bysshe, 1792 to 1822. Nature and Man from Queen Mab. Look on yonder earth, the golden harvest spring, the unfailing sun sheds light and life, the fruits, the flowers, the trees arise in due succession. All things speak peace, harmony, and love. The universe, in nature's silent eloquence, declares that all fulfill the works of love and joy. All but the outcast man. Just
Easy.
saying. But no, I'm so grateful. And sorry, it took me a while to get there. Got there in the end, but I'm really grateful.
Again, doesn't matter the journey, doesn't matter how you get there. That's
Exactly.
the whole thing.
Exactly. We're all
Thanks so
walking each other home.
Keep in touch, and it was a pleasure
Definitely.
connecting with you. Okay, take care,
Definitely.
Harry.
Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show, and I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.